Good morning, friends, and welcome back to the John Went Walking YouTube channel, coming to you from Oakside Cemetery in Zephyr Hills, Florida. Today I'm going to share with you one of the most bizarre love stories in all of history, and certainly here in Florida, though Florida is full of many incredible stories. And this story comes from Ghost City Tours in Key West and is a true account. In 1940, Key West radiologist Count Carl von Cosel went on trial for desecrating the body of Elena Hoyos. Not only were reporters and much of the public sympathetic to von Cosel's May December romance, but ultimately jurors acquitted von Cosel of the theft, preservation, and mistreatment of Elena's cadaver. Von Cosel wasn't a count at all. He was an X-ray technician or a radiologist, although some have described him as a mad scientist, others a brilliant doctor. He's more likely a grotesque fetishist. In April of 1930, the beautiful but doomed Elena Hoyos arrived at the Key West Marine Hospital for blood tests. She also received x-rays, which is when she met the radiologist Carl von Cosel. Elena's prognosis was grim. She was diagnosed with fast-acting tuberculosis. It was estimated that she wouldn't have long to live. But von Cosel disagreed. He had become smitten with the frail Hispanic beauty and alleged that he even recognized her from a dream. 10 years before Elena's birth, von Cosel's ancestor had appeared to him as an apparition. She told von Cosel that he would marry a young woman who von Cosel decided looked precisely like Elena Hoyos. Von Cosel was 60 years of age and decided they were to have their May-December romance. He didn't see an issue with their differing ages or her nearly dead, immobilized status. Von Cosel decided that he was in love. He provided free radiation treatments to Elena Hoyos, and a promise of marriage. Elena's consumptive condition meant very little to von Cosel. He didn't really care. Determined to save his newfound love, von Cosel connected her wasting body to a homemade contraption he had prepared. The invention charged her oxygen electrons with electrodes, which he decided would save her. Elena was in unbearable pain, but her parents approved of von Cosel's treatment. They were comforted by his invention, hoping that perhaps Elena could survive. While Elena was undergoing agonizing death, von Cosel supplied her with perfume, jewelry, fruits, and candies. He showered her with luxurious treats, hoping that Elena would accept his hand in marriage. He even bought her a mahogany bed, which would become her deathbed. Nevertheless, Elena refused von Cosel's proposal. On October 25th, 1931, Elena died of tuberculosis at the age of 22. Von Cosel visited her gravesite for 2 years, a mausoleum in Key West Old City Cemetery. He continued to leave gifts at her graveside, eerie offerings to his lifeless lover, excessive treasures to the object of his affections. He even installed a telephone line to Elena's crypt so that he could continue speaking to her. Yet von Cosel was unable to resist peeking at Elena Hoyos' remains. He decided to open her casket. To his absolute horror, Elena's putrefied body had begun to deteriorate. Although he tried to stop this with embalming fluids, her body continued to decay. Carl von Cosel's only solution was to steal her remains. He transported Elena to his laboratory in the fuselage of a wingless airplane, covertly relocating her body to Rest Beach in Key West. Once he arrived, he replaced her rotting flesh with oiled silk, beeswax, and balsam. He substituted her empty sockets with glass eyes. He replaced her former beauty with ghoulish, frightening features. He even dressed her corpse in a wedding gown after stuffing her body with rags. He then placed Elena Hoyos on his canopied bed, serenading her with small church organ. Elena Hoyos remained with Carl von Cosel for 7 years after this point. Carl von Cosel believed that he could animate Elena's corpse with his ultraviolet ray treatment. When this was ineffective, he contemplated relocating her remains to the stratosphere. He would personally transport her body by airplane, where Carl von Castell believed he could restore her life. Word caught on that Carl was acting erratically, so Elena's sister decided to investigate. Von Castell was eager to disclose his work on Elena. He was proud of the excellent attention he'd given to her preservation and thought mistakenly that Elena's sister would feel the same. Carl's madness had been discovered. Authorities took Elena from him. As they autopsied her body for the second time, they discovered that she was removed from her tomb 2 years after her burial. Carl von Castell had preserved her corpse for 7 years, and Carl was doing more than playing dress up with Elena. Elena's doctors decided not to disclose the most disturbing discovery they had made after Carl's death. Carl von Castell had consummated their marriage. After von Castell's arrest, Key West put Elena's body on exhibit. The townspeople crowded the funeral parlor, eager to see the macabre curiosity. Teachers brought their students for field trips. Journalists arrived to report on the most unbelievable story in the world. Over 7,000 visitors arrived in Key West, each desperate to peek at this well-preserved woman. Some asked if Key West could seal Elena within a glass case as a permanent exhibit. Elena was once again reduced to an object of spectacle, only this time she was a tourist attraction. Many townspeople felt sympathy and also flocked to von Castell, excusing his bizarre behavior as an act of love. The county jail charged him of malicious and wanton disfigurement of a burial vault, yet the jurors found no law that he had broken. They were unaware that the doctor had found sperm inside Elena's corpse, clear evidence of necrophilia. This would have been clear evidence of necrophilia. In their ignorance, they asked if it was illegal to love too much. That is, the investigators asked if it was illegal to love too much. Carl von Castell was acquitted. His negative publicity was a small price to pay for such an excessively grotesque desecration. Von Castell was nevertheless unsatisfied with the outcome of his trial. He asked if he could have Elena's body returned to him. Journalists reported that the judge denied von Castell's request, screaming at von Castell with disgust. Provoked by von Castell's unapologetic behavior, the judge decided to bury Elena in an unmarked grave. Her location was to remain unknown to the creepy, controlling Count. There are a lot of theories as to where she is, where Elena's remains are, and some even believe that she may have company where she rests, whether it be in Key West or whether it be right here in Zephyr Hills. Count Carl von Castell had a lot of support on the inside from authorities down there in Key West, and it does make you wonder if possibly Elena was returned up here. Reportedly, Carl von Castell returned to his wife and daughter in Zephyr Hills. It turned out that Carl von Castell was married with children the entire time. Yes, to a real, live, breathing woman. He had left his family to search for a soulmate, which he found in Elena Hoyos. Although reporters wrote that Carl von Castell died alone in 1952 in a trailer park in Zephyr Hills, this is somewhat untrue. Morticians found him beside a life-size replica of Maria Elena Hoyos, a mannequin reproduction that featured a mask of Elena's face. Today, Carl von Castell is buried right here in Zephyr Hills. It does make you wonder, though, with all the support that Count von Castell had in Key West. He was a celebrity in Key West, brought a lot of fame at that time in the early 30s to Key West, even if it was infamy, if it was not good fame. He brought a lot of tourists there and a lot of tourist money. And then when he returned, he physically did return to Zephyr Hills. But the question is whether or not Elena's remains were brought with him to Zephyr Hills. And that's something that probably no one will ever know. So this morning I wanted to share this incredible Valentine's Day love story, one of the greatest love stories of all time with you. I'm going to close from the Oakside Cemetery right here in Zephyr Hills, Florida. This is the grave of Count Carl von Tanzler, he's right here. Carl Tanzler is right here. Count Carl von Tassel is right here. And the question is whether or not he's alone in this grave. Now we know his wife has a burial plot right beside him, but I'm not really convinced of what's in Carl's plot. So either way, it's an incredible story, and one that continues to live on here in not just Old Key West, but here in Old Florida. So happy Valentine's Day, friends. I hope you make it a good one. I hope you all treat your Valentine very well today. And I'll be speaking to you again from the Florida Trail very soon. Goodbye, friends.